If you want to understand a field in physics and information theory, what particle physics, what you can think of the multiverse as is that it is a probability distribution. It's actually several probability distributions, but it's very unusual as far as its probability because it's stochastically random. So if you imagine a field is like a Euclidean plane that stretches on for infinity, but the difference is, so it's a flat surface or a manifold that's separate from a shape, and it has coordinates on it, like a point set topology. Those coordinates have a probability distribution, and that's what organizes the distribution of mass into an asymmetrical distribution. And so we exist on one such of those planes, those fields, and we exist within localized effects, within the general effects, similar to general relativity versus special relativity. Special relativity is localized, whereas general relativity is a characteristic of the entire field, relativistic field. And our universe is composed of layers of fields. So like each field is a layer of the overall cake. And it's a lot like an onion. You know how ogres are like onions and they have layers. The field that we live in, or the fields we live in, are all corresponding to some position of an electron or another particle, as far as the spin of that particle. And we're talking about particles that are representative of superpositions. So it's got degrees within 0% and 100% that are infinite. But we live on a discrete structure that is also infinite. It's discrete on a local level and infinite on a general level. You can think of a probability distribution as a field, two-dimensional field or a three-dimensional field, XYZ plane, the projective plane, that has currents or forces running through it. And according to the movement and distribution of those forces, they follow a probability distribution as in statics. For instance, when you take iron filings and those are the forces resulting from each probability or event in the probability distribution field. So a probability distribution field is like, as far as the multiverse goes, is that we exist within some equilibrium of that field, some layer, and our reality is a chunk of the whole, and the whole is like that field that has literally infinite number of infinitely sided dice that are constantly spinning, and each side of the superposition of those dice or particles has a specific number to it, and we are just one of the probabilities within that probability field. it's like at the most basic when you flip a coin. There's more factors involved in flipping a coin than just one side or the other. It's about that's kind of what superposition is. But yeah,